The phrase, "from myth to logos," captures perhaps the most significant intellectual revolution in human history: the transition from a poetic, mythic interpretation of the world to a rational and philosophical understanding of it. This was not merely a change in the way people thought, but a profound transformation of human consciousness, from the passive acceptance of tradition to the active search for truth. In archaic Greece, myths were the foundation of all knowledge. They were the means by which humanity explained natural phenomena, the creation of the cosmos, the presence of evil, and the relationship between man and the divine. Homer and Hesiod were not merely poets. They were teachers of the world, the first theologians and natural philosophers of a society seeking order within chaos. Myth, with its enchanting narratives, was not falsehood but symbol, a way to express truth through images. Yet, around the 6th century BCE, something changed. The Ionian philosophers, from Thales and Anaximander to Heraclitus, began to seek the origin of all things not in the gods but in physis, nature itself. The cosmos was no longer the stage of divine passions but a unified reality governed by rational laws. Thales declared that all things are full of gods, but by this he meant that the divine is inherent in the natural order itself. Anaximander spoke of the apeiron, the infinite, indefinite substance underlying all beings. Heraclitus proclaimed the logos, the rational principle that holds opposites together and creates harmony through conflict. This shift from myth to reason did not abolish myth but transformed it. Myth became a vessel of meaning, to be interpreted by the intellect. Poetry and philosophy were not opposed, they coexisted. Plato, for example, used myths to express philosophical truths that transcend the limits of rational discourse. Aristotle would later systematize logic, yet he maintained that philosophy begins with thaumazein, the sense of wonder before the mystery of existence. Thus, the journey from myth to logos is not a rejection but an ascent, from image to meaning, from story to knowledge, from the darkness of superstition to the light of understanding. It marks the birth of Greek thought, of science and philosophy, and the beginning of a spiritual tradition that still calls us today to unite the heart of myth with the clarity of reason, to comprehend the world not merely with the mind, but with the fullness of our being.